So when I was sitting down and thinking about what it was I wanted to chat with future parents or caregivers, whether you're a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, a sibling, whoever you are, if you're a kiddo who actually lives with CHD or you're becoming an adult, what is it that I've learned through this journey? And it's about transitions, really. This constant state of living with the unknown. And humans were designed to fear the unknown. We want to control, we want to make sense of life. It's the only way that we know how to cope. One of the critical care nurses taught us very early on to follow Kieran's lead. And that has been forever a mantra for me, that when I didn't know what was coming next and I was trying to anticipate, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? They kept coaching me, just pay attention to where he's at right here, right now. And that really helped me to drop into the present moment. It was like entering a portal of time and space. Now I can always be present in a way that I had no idea about before this.
So when you move up to 4D, that's going to be your new home. You might be there for a long time. We were there for weeks on end, a few different times, and you're just going to have to give in to that being your new home. But there's a lot you can do to make it feel more comfortable. Bring your own pillows and blankets. You can decorate.
She loved coloring. She decorated the whole room. I just want her to feel happy. I just want her to feel comfortable. And I just want her to feel like this was her second home. The point was to make this like a big playground. We was always playing, always happy. Every day she was going to wear different princess dress. And of course, I have to tell my husband to bring all the dresses from home and bring all the bows that match the dress and the shoes. And it's not easy, but I didn't want her to feel like, oh, this is a horrible place. They put you needles, the doctors, they're gonna come, they're gonna do this. No, I want her to feel this is the place where everybody is willing to help you.
So I decided that one thing that would help me create the childhood experience that Zara deserved was to give her a home, whether that meant that we were at home or that we were at 4D. So for me, home is a feeling. What does it feel like? It feels like love. It feels like safety. It feels like doing fun things that kids want to do. And you can do that whether you are in a hospital room or at home. We kept it simple. What can I do? Today we're going to have a Barbie adventure. So we'd bring in our big blue bowl, we'd fill it up with water, and we'd be playing Barbies. We would have a spa night. So we'd do our nails, we'd talk about everything and anything. We'd have a movie night. We'd put on our favorite songs. We'd decorate the room with our artwork. And that was feeling like we were at home.
So when your child is leaving cardiac critical care and moving up to 4D, it's possible that you'll actually spend some time in the observation rooms. They're called the step-down unit. So essentially it's a big room on the same floor as the private rooms for 4D. And in that space, the ratios are smaller than they were in critical care. So you'll have a couple of nurses in and out of the space and other parents, other families in that same way that it's a shared space in cardiac critical care. What's different there is that you don't know how long you'll be there. So it's a bit of a limbo and it can be awkward and it can be uncomfortable. So just be ready to ask questions and try to gain information every time there's a transition. You'll be focused on your child, everyone will be focused on the equipment, on the handover notes, and it's your job to actually stop and think, what do I need? What am I going to use to get changed tonight? Where am I going to sleep? What am I going to eat? Those basic essentials are likely to be missed, and it's nobody's fault, but it's just a realization that we have to take care of ourselves while we are taking care of our kids as well.
With all of my children, I know that the quality of me being a mom is going to depend on the quality of me being okay. So taking care of myself, mind, body, and soul, making sure that I have the food, I have the nutrition, I am hydrated, I am getting my sunlight, I am taking my breaks, I am sleeping, I'm comfortable, and my fitness. So for me, fitness was so important because that's when I felt strong and ready and energized and confident. And if I have that, that's my energy, and my children live and thrive when I'm okay. If I'm smiling, they'll smile because they will know it is safe to smile. Mom's got me, I'm okay. The other important part of this for Zara was that mom's mental health is okay. So that meant me picking up the phone and finding a professional who speaks my language, who understands my culture, who understands my religion and how all of these things make me, so that I can untangle things in my mind and make it make sense, because I deserved that and so did my children. So that is so important. I figured that, you know what, if this is going to be the story, then I'm going to first make sure the characters are solid. And for me, that meant taking care of my mental health just as I took care of my daughter's mental health. There's no different. We are the same.
Something that really helped us was saying yes to all the programming. If there's caregiver coffee hour, say yes. That was huge for us, going and talking to other parents and caregivers about what was going on and just having an hour to vent. Go down to story time, go to the family center, have fun. It sounds weird, but have as much fun as you can in the hospital. If there's athletes, if there's sports teams that are coming around, go meet them. We got to do that, and it was one of the big highlights. And there are little things that we can do to bring that joy. Sometimes I just loitered at the door of our room to see if there were any other parents hanging around, or I went to get a coffee and kind of just took my time walking back to see if I would bump into anyone and have a chat. When you're stuck in the room and they offer you different services, you should just say yes to those too. And you might be a little hesitant at first and not really understanding what's music therapy and what's clown therapy. But when they show up and they bring their joy to your room, it can really make all the difference. And we made such an incredible bond with one of the clowns at the hospital. It was just magical when he would come and play songs for our son. Having that kind of experience in your hospital room is not something we ever expected. It just felt nice to have a little mini concert and to just be there with your family and have a little bit of entertainment and put a smile on your face when you really need it.
So one super skill that I would say will help you for discharge is be organized. Start with making a list of questions. Everything that you're thinking of, I guarantee you someone has asked or someone has wondered. Write it down. Doesn't matter what the question is. Write it down. And then as you approach discharge, check it off. Do I know this? Do I know this? Do I know this? It really is about your belief in yourself. Am I competent? Am I ready? Your medical team thinks you are. So that's one thing that's good. Prepare yourself. Visualize how is life going to look at home. One thing that helped me was looking at the room that I'm in right now. What works here? What am I sort of seeing that I'm gravitating towards? A whiteboard. So I got a whiteboard at home, an organizing drawer with just medical supplies. I got that at home. Very simple things. Now my physical space is ready to receive us. I'm in the mental space. I've got all the information. I've got my contact information. And the most important is I'm not alone. Do not ever feel you are alone. The fact that you are living on 4D, you have neighbors everywhere. This is your neighborhood. Find people, find friends, get out there, talk to people that have been here before. And anytime you feel like you have a moment where, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this, take a deep breath, pick up your phone, call your support team.
Our early parenting was, living at home, living at the hospital, going back and forth. So we've experienced being discharged so many times, and each time was unique, each time was different. Whether we knew if we were going home that day or not, it depended if it was a weekend, if it was a Monday, it depended who was on shift. It depended how ready we were, and that's something we learned over time. We had to ask for what we needed to be ready to transition home. It's one thing to feel panic in a private room and to know that there's a call button, but it feels really different to be alone at home. Sometimes as a new caregiver with a child that has medical complexities, you're not prepared to know even how to take care of or support. So I leaned into my people, my friends, and I'm so grateful that I actually met people on the journey who were also in the same situation. So sometimes that meant finding out about a secret Facebook group. Sometimes that meant just sharing phone numbers or, reading stories from people who have been through the journey before and being real with the people around you about the struggles, whether they're mental health, whether they're physical health. I know a lot of the time my physical health became an issue because I was putting it off, and the burnout was so real from being a caregiver. So being able to ask for that kind of help along the way as well.
Every single time we were discharged and we came home, it was a celebration. It was a celebration for everybody involved, for mom and for dad, for Zara, for her sisters. You know what? We did it. We can do hard things. We can survive and we can celebrate that. We had balloons, we had decorations, we always had cake, and we always got a little treat for all of the girls, just so that we can have that moment of normalcy and life.